Hi Dana! So this is a thing that I thought would be a good idea. Since I'm really bad at keeping in touch with people, especially you, and I haven't figured out how to send a text message back yet, I got this in my head to do this thing. Probably because I was thinking about, do you remember 7, 8, 9, I don't know how many years ago, we did the survey thing together on Facebook, and it was ridiculous, but really funny. And so I decided to do that thing too, kind of. So I picked a random thing offline, like fun questionnaires or whatever. This is totally unique, even though it's like the same 20 questions that everybody always asks. Well, I decided that I'd pick 7 of them-ish, kind of. I don't know, I picked like a bunch and I wrote them down on my note cards so that I could answer them, and then I'm going to see if I can guess your answers to them too. So let me know if I'm right, because I probably am not, but we'll find out. Okay, so first question is, would you rather vacation to Alaska or Hawaii? Now, I'd rather vacation to Alaska, probably. It's more off the beaten track as far as vacations go. There's a lot of adventure stuff that you can do. I don't know, I'd probably just, if I were to pick between the two, I'd pick Alaska. I think you probably would too. I think you would too, just because I think there's a lot to do in Alaska, and it's definitely off the beaten track, like I said. That being said, I don't think either of us would say no to vacation in Hawaii. I think we would probably not say no to that ever. So, yeah, if you want to go to Hawaii, let me know. Or Alaska. Alright, so would you rather, next question on my cards, travel by plane, train, or automobile? Since both of us have traveled by both of those things, all 3 of those, I would say, also I spelled plane wrong. I just want you to see that. I don't know if you can see that or not. I don't know what I was writing these earlier. Whatever. Okay, anyway, so plane, train, or automobile, I would say, depends on how far we're going. If we're going 10 minutes, obviously a plane or a train would be a little bit ridiculous. I think that both of us are, fascinated is the wrong word, but we really love the train system in Europe. I think both of us really enjoyed that you could get practically anywhere by train for a relatively inexpensive price, and public transit is a thing that needs to come to America like yesterday. That being said, I don't think either of us would trade our cars, because we really like, our cars are good for going farther places, but places that are closer than by plane. As far as, I would probably pick train for nostalgic value. There's something fun about riding on a train, depending on if you're riding like a subway intercity, or if you're riding on a train from Prague to Amsterdam and you have noisy German men behind you. Anyway, or plane. I would pick plane. It's pretty fast, and you can just take some sleeping medicine or Dramamine or whatever. So I think you would pick plane as far as distance and motion sickness. Train for nostalgic value and for public transportation ease. And then car mostly for everything else. So I don't think that really answered that question at all. Next question. I hope you can still see this. I keep adjusting because I'm holding this up like so. I don't know. And I don't really know how to edit these things, so this is all just going to be on there. So hopefully you can see my face still. Okay. Would you rather camp in an RV or stay in a tent? Again, I think this depends on the duration of the stay. If you're staying for a month somewhere, you'd probably pick the RV for amenities' sake. But I think we both probably pick tent. Like, it's not really a real camping experience unless you sleep in a tent or Oktoberfest. That being said, okay, next question. I don't really have anything else to say to that. I would pick tent all the time. Tent with an air mattress, though, for sure. Okay, would you rather travel by sailboat or cruise ship? I would rather do neither of those, as far as you know. You know that I don't like the ocean or the sea or anything where I can't see. So I'd rather go sailing on a lake where I can see all the edges and not be stuck there. Yes. Again, this one I think depends on distance for you. I think you've done cruise ship already, so you'd probably pick sailboat if you were to just pick one off the top of your head. But if you were going to go an 8-hour distance, I imagine you'd probably want to be on a cruise ship and not on, in the middle of the ocean on a sailboat. So, but probably sailboat. Plus, Captain Hook is probably more sailing. Yeah. Okay. Would you who would you want with you if you were stranded? Now, I don't know if this said on a desert island or a deserted island. It could be either of those. But I would say if it was either one of those, probably the crocodile hunter, Steve Irwin. I'd probably pick Steve Irwin. But as I can't pick Steve Irwin, although he might be annoying after a while, we'd be like hunting for shelter, and he'd be like, "Oh, look at these sticks! Aren't these amazing?" or something. Or, "Look at this poop, and I'm gonna just put that in my pocket for later." And I'd be like, "Can you eat it? I don't care if you can't eat it." Yeah, so maybe Steve Irwin's not the best. So maybe like Survivor Man. That being said, if it was like a luxury island or an island where I knew how to survive, I'd pick you or Brett or both. Can I have both? Bear Grylls. I pick Bear Grylls. Okay, and I think you would pick me. No, just kidding. I think you'd pick one of your brothers. Probably Joel. Maybe. I don't know. Whichever one of them can survive on a desert island. Or maybe Steve Irwin, too. Because you just run around with him on the island and be like, "Oh, look at the poop and the bones and the stick and the tree." Get really excited about everything. Maybe not. Alright, who is your favorite author? I'm switching to the other side. This is my good side. Can't you tell? Oh, I probably dropped the camera a little bit. Okay, who's your favorite author? I don't have a favorite author. I don't have one. I like a lot of authors. So, pretty much every book I read, I'm like, "This is my favorite author." I would say yours is Terry Pratchett, but I also know that you have a love of The Hobbit, so J.R.R. Tolkien would also be up there on the favorite authors, but probably Terry Pratchett. Or Neil Gaiman's probably on the list somewhere, too. I don't know. For me, I'd probably say either Jim Butcher, Neil Gaiman is good. I don't really have a favorite author. I just don't have one. So, whatever. Okay. So, what is the last question? The hardest question, I think, is what has been your biggest challenge? For me, my biggest challenge has probably been spelling. No, just kidding. Although I'm a terrible speller, it's probably spelling. My biggest challenge has been, I don't know what my biggest challenge has been. I guess sort of figuring out, like anybody, figuring out who I am, what I want to do with my life, like what I'm good at, what I'm not good at, talking to people, like getting to know people and like having and keeping friends, like I said, staying connected with people. It's probably one of my biggest challenges. I would say being awkward and challenged, like talking to people and making friends. I would say making friends has been my biggest challenge in my whole life. I don't know how I have the friends that I do. I don't know how to make friends. If you were to ask me, how do you make friends? I'd be like, hope that their desk is assigned next to yours, because that's literally how, or that you have the same bus stop as somebody. You know, like, I think friends come from talking to people often, but you also have to have, like, similar interests, or you just have to have that outgoingness, and I don't, and I think that all of the people who are my friends do have that, so they're like, "Hey, do you want to hang out with me?" And I'm like, "Yes, I do want to hang out." That was probably confusing, but I'm never the one to be like, "Yeah, you should hang out with me, because let's go do this thing." I'm terrible at that, so making friends. For you, your biggest challenge, you're figuring out who you are, what you want to do with your life. I know it's a pretty cliche answer, but I bet that's what it is. Making deep connections with people. Maybe this is too intimate to put on this thing. But if I were to guess, it'd probably be similar. We're similar in nature, so I imagine we have similar ideas. You're really good at making friends. I'm really good at making really deep, personal connections, but I can't talk to people. You can talk to people, but, anyway. That's probably, I would say, is, like, finding yourself and making deep connections or whatever. So, yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, this was this video. Ridiculous. That was my last question. I don't really have anything else to talk about to you. I'm just going to send this to you. It's going to be unedited and raw. It's going to be raw. That's actually a reason I didn't write it. I was going to type it up and just send it to you, but that, like, felt much more impersonal. Also, I wanted to get out of my comfort zone, and I think that, like, videotape, I watched all my videos from Europe, our Europe trip, which I'm going to post eventually, too, in the next few hours. Or not all, yeah, whatever. So, And I think watching those I was like, okay, I can be sort of funny and awkward and whatever. Like, this isn't that bad. So I decided to keep going with it because it actually makes me, surprisingly, it makes me feel better about myself rather than, like, watching myself on camera and being like, oh, I hurt myself so good. I don't do that. I actually watch myself and I'm like, hey, I'm kind of funny. That's sort of ridiculous that I just said there. Maybe I'm not funny at all, but I just think I'm funny. I don't know. Maybe I just have the ego, whatever. So yeah, I just decided to do this thing, and I'll probably do it again because like I said, I kind of like it. So whatever, ask weird questions. You'll probably just find this dorky, but hopefully it'll bring a smile to your face. Anyway, I will see you when I see you, hopefully sooner rather than later, and I'll talk to you sooner than that.